Hi, my name's Lauren from ACA, and today we're going to talk about prepositions. If you haven't already, please check out our last video on preposition rules. You will need to be familiar with those preposition rules before watching this video. So let's get started. Depending on your first language, the rules for prepositions may not match in English. So while it's very tempting to use your first language, more often than not, it's going to lead you to trouble. In this video, we're going to talk about the more advanced rules for prepositions. These include preposition combinations, preposition doubling, as well as some subtle differences in meaning between some prepositions. Let's talk about preposition combinations. They are used to show a logical relationship, for, at, on, and there are several preposition combinations that are useful. So let's go through them and pay attention to how the preposition connects the sentence together. Even though some of these prepositions are intangible or not literal, it can help to visualize what's going on. So let's start with the nouns and prepositions. Lack of. Sophie's only problem is a lack of confidence. Here, of shows possession, belonging, or origin between lack and confidence. Influence on. Marge is a good influence on Peter. On in general is used to show that something is in a position higher than something else. So in this example, Marge's influence is positioned higher than Peter's. So she influences him in a good way. Solution 2. I think I have found the solution to our problems. Remember in our last video that to was used for movement verbs like go. Well, it has a similar meaning here. You can imagine that the solution is moving towards the problem. Now, let's talk about adjective and prepositions. Different from. Emily is very different from her sister Samantha. Here, the preposition from shows the origin of the difference, which is Samantha. Tired of. Don't you get tired of arguing all the time? Here, of shows that same possession, belonging that we saw in the other example. Interested in. John is interested in Mary. In general, the preposition in means inside a place or area. Here, in connects John and his interest with Mary. Here, it can help to visualize it. Unlike phrasal verbs, verbs plus prepositions do not change the meaning of the verb. Be sure to check out our video on phrasal verbs for more information. Pay for. How much did you pay for the house? In general, the preposition for shows who or what will receive or benefit from something. For example, I bought a coffee for you. Here, the preposition for shows that you've received the house for the payment. Contribute to. I really need you to contribute to the meeting. Like before, the preposition to shows this movement of contribution towards the meeting. Depend on. Whether or not we decide to go to Mexico depends on the cost. Like before, we can see this kind of visualization of the decision to go and the cost. Sometimes you might see or hear two prepositions following each other. For example, I jumped out of the plane. Here we see two prepositions, out and of. The rule is, if the object, in this case the plane, is a location object, you can add the prepositions from, to, of. If the object is not a location, or if there's no object at all, then you do not add a second preposition. I walked into my house. I walked in. I stepped in mud. Let's take a look at some more examples and pay attention to the object. I was climbing out of the pool when I slipped and fell back in. It's easier to pull into a parking spot than to back out. I took the elevator up to our hotel floor, but John decided to walk up. Please come in. You kids better come down from there. Please keep the noise down. Now that we've looked at preposition combinations, let's take a look at how the meaning can change depending on which preposition I use. Remember, even though I'm changing the preposition, it does not change the noun, adjective, or verb like phrasal verbs do. I take credit for making this explanation clear. I gave credit to my assistant for making the presentation. In the first example, I have the credit, no one else. Whereas in the second example, my assistant has the credit. I apologized to my neighbor for making so much noise. I apologized for my neighbor, he did not mean to make so much noise. In the first example, I made the noise and I said sorry to my neighbor. In the second example, my neighbor made the loud noise and I apologized to someone else. The neighbor did not apologize. I feel sorry for John. I feel sorry about breaking your lamp. In the first example, I feel pity for John. I did nothing wrong, but something bad happened and I feel sympathy for him. In the second example, I did do something wrong. I broke the lamp and I feel bad about it. So hopefully this has made prepositions a little bit clearer. And if you like this, please check out our website, lesbonmots.ca, for more videos as well as our podcast and blog. Bye for now.